What's up info, welcome back di game Sherlock Holmes chapter 1. Langsung aja kita lanjutkan gameplaynya. Dan terakhir kali kita udah menginvestigasi seluruh lokasi ini ya, dan menemukan korban jiwa. Itu seorang laki-laki yang tertusuk sebuah pisau yang digunakan untuk ritual aneh ya guys ya. Ini orangnya, tapi dalam catatannya ada yang kita temukan ya di dalam sini. Itu ritualnya bukan seperti itu, jadi berbeda. Dan kemungkinan besar di sini adalah kasus pembunuhan, atau mungkin aja emang ini adalah ritual aneh. Kita coba tanya saja kepada nih Vogel, karena dia yang memberikan kunci kepada kita guys. Jadi dia pasti tahu sesuatu soal masalah ini. Let's go.
Werner, care to explain what is going on here?
On nights like these, it's not unusual for some attendees
Bagaimana
to
dia
get
bisa
a
tahu
little
gitu guys?
exuberant. It's part of the appeal. Unfortunately, it appears things have gotten out of hand. Yes,
Okay.
some are more prone to bend the rules of morality.
That's murder. I doubt there's anything left to bend. Why did you not tell me immediately? We were chatting about trivial matters for some time.
If I'm completely honest, Sherlock, I've consumed a rather potent cocktail of substances. My attention slips and drifts, but I'm glad I thought to call for you.
You sent me a disguise.
Oh dear, did I? Well, since I found the body, Mr. Manchios has agreed that you can investigate the matter. I promise my mind will behave itself going forward.
All right.
Jadi dia yang
Pull
menemukan
yourself
dulu
together,
guys ya, si
Werner.
Vogel ini. Okay. Who is Mr. Marcios?
Mr. Manchios is the owner of the
Marcios.
And the host of Cordona's most memorable parties. He promises even the ugliest guest a partner for the night. And for the ones with more unconventional tastes, Mr. Manchios provides other services.
What a caring person.
You cannot begin to imagine.
Okay. Terus bagaimana kau bisa menemukan tubuh
How
ini?
did you discover the body? In between guzzles of alcohol?
I was set to perform in a fecundity rite with Fabio and came to inquire further. It was a staged
Oh
ritual.
ya, namanya
where he was
Fabio
to
guys
play
ya,
the
lelaki ini
principle
guys
of
ya.
life.
Kayaknya
And
ya.
the rehearsal was unsuccessful?
Kayaknya.
Who knows? I found him alone on the altar, his blood dripping to the floor.
Oh
And
iya.
then?
Then I called Mr. Manchios. He was panicking, so I told him about you. We left the room and locked the door. Then we were
Filling time?
waiting for you was stressful. We indulged in some simple comforts. Overindulged, perhaps.
Oke, jadi dia yang menemukannya, katanya dia menemukan si Fabio ini udah duduk di situ ya, dalam kondisi udah meninggal ya. Jadi dia manggil si Mr. Manchios, kata si Virgil ya. Tapi si Mr. Manchios itu panik ya, terus pergi, terus dia menunggu si Sherlock Holmes ini datang guys.
Were you well acquainted with Fabio, the victim?
Everyone knew Fabio, or wanted to. His beauty was the talk of the island. Too handsome to go unnoticed. He was magnetic. Fat wallets fought for the privilege of having him. He offered the pleasures of performance and more.
Oh, banyak sekali. Nah, ini ritual nih.
What about the fertility ritual? There was something about Fabio being a principle of life.
Fabio was supposed to portray the beauty of life's origin. Flowers, oil. Not this travesty that seems straight out of the Inquisition.
So this ritual is not the fertility rite. What was it meant to look like?
It begins with a woman lying naked in a flower bed on the altar. She
Sudah.
represents
Ini guys
Sky
ya.
of the earth. As I cover her in oils, we chant for the principle. As our calls reach a climax, Fabio enters and copulates with her. After he finishes, I stab her with a dagger. That part's just pretend, of course.
But the intercourse is not?
I did not expect you to be such a prude. Are you a virgin? It is nothing to be ashamed of, but it would explain the color of your cheeks. The fertility rite marks the start of our festivities. The principle of life is beautiful, intimate, essential. It must not be stopped.
Yet it appears that someone did stop it. What about the naked woman? Can you tell me anything about her?
Oh yes, Matista.
Matista.
She's one of Fabio's compatriots and a performer too. I haven't seen her today,
Itu
actually.
ngapain tuh si John tuh? Oke, namanya ada seorang ceweknya guys ya.
When you discovered the body, was the door open?
No, it was locked. Oh, that reminds me. It's a minor detail, but the first time I came to speak to Fabio, I left without entering. having been unable to open the door.
You didn't have the key?
No, I had it. Don't look at me like that. I was mostly sober. I suspect there was a key in the other side of the door, blocking the lock.
That detail may very well be major, Werner. Well done. So you returned later only to find the lock was not blocked?
Correct. After an hour had passed, I tried again and was able to unlock the door. That's when I discovered poor, handsome Fabio.
Oke. Katanya pintunya itu tertutup guys ya. Jadi walaupun si Vogel ya ini punya kunci, dia nggak bisa masuk guys karena ada slot yang dari dalam ya. Oke, dan setelah setengah jaman dia balik lagi, ternyata itu bisa. Dan ketemulah mayatnya si Fabio gitu katanya guys.
The police remain unaware of this tragic event?
Polisi tahu
Some of
nggak?
them may be hiding behind their masks. They conceal many things. But we didn't want the authorities to create more problems.
Nggak
Besides,
dipanggil
after a
guys
few
ya.
cocktails, their incompetence will have soared to new heights.
How do you know I even want the case?
I promised you relaxation. If there's one thing I know about you, Sherlock, it's that nothing soothes you more than a good mystery.
So, Sherry, do you have any ideas about the case?
Oh.
Perhaps. I think I can deduce what happened here.
Muncul guys. Akhirnya ya. Ini dia. Imaginator. Kita. John, ayo John. Udah semedi nih John. Yang bener John. Oke, mana aja John? Cari John. Oh. Ini. Oke. Tanya dulu nih guys ya. Ini ada cewek yang bareng sama si Fabio, yaitu seorang performer yang kayak cewek yang di luar dia yang pakai bajunya gitu ya. Dia bareng si Fabio, ya itu partnernya ya. Jadi namanya Matista. Kemungkinan nanti dia yang bisa jadi sesuatu ini petunjuk guys ya kalau kita temui dia ya. Mungkin jadi dia tahu ya. Oke. Dan sekarang kita coba untuk memvisualisasikan ya kejadian yang sebenarnya. Oke, langsung aja. Let's go. Oke, kita mulai dari ini guys ya. Jadi ada orang ngunci dari dalam ya karena si ini nggak bisa masuk. Oke. Lalu bukan dia ditusuk. Bukan dicekik. Nah, ditusuk. Oh, lalu ada lagi di sini. Oh. Kalau nggak salah di sini ada. Oke, ya bener. Dipukul pakai botol ya, terus ada cipratan darah sampai ke bawah. Setelah itu dia KO. Nah, diseretlah itu ya, dan tangan pelakunya memegang sofa, jadi ada tandanya ya guys ya. Lalu kalau tidak salah tuh ada bercak darah. Jadi dia mencuci apaan tuh? Cuci apa tuh? Terus memasukkannya ke dalam sini ya guys ya. Ntar kita coba lagi apakah ada hal yang lain lagi. Bukan pelakunya dong. Bukan Fabio dong, dia dong. Oke, jadi urutannya gini guys ya. Jadi terakhir dia akan menyembunyikan buktinya, tapi sayangnya dia lupa kalau barangnya tercuci itu basah ya. Oke, kita coba guys, semoga langsung bisa benar ya.
The bottle was used as a weapon during a scuffle in the smoking lounge.
Jadi dipukul pakai botol
Then,
guys
to
ya.
ensure no one would interrupt, the murderer locked the door.
Oke, biar nggak ada yang mengganggu, dia
The
dikunci
unconscious
dari
body of
dalam
the victim
ya.
was moved to the altar room. Once the body was on the altar, the murderer thrust the dagger into the victim's heart. Symbols were drawn with the blood. The wardrobe was used to hide the bloodied robe from anyone's eyes.
Oke,
The killer washed himself and took a clean robe
oke,
from the hanger
sang
before leaving.
pembunuh. Saya
Are you
sudah
alright?
mendapatkan
You're on the
clue-mu.
floor, not moving.
I think I know what happened here.
Ngapain John? Enak John, seger ya. Enak wes. Renang wes. Oke, kita lihat kita buat sesuatu guys ya. Menurut Fabio in the smoking lounge, striking the head with the wine bottle. Ya, ini tadi ya. Dapat ini baru. Banyak sekali. Let's go, kita pasang-pasangkan. Tidak bisa. Oh. The murderer had the key to the altar room. Pembunuh punya kunci untuk masuki ke dalam ruangan ini, guys. Let's go. What else? Fabio dead. Oh, Fabio was killed in ritual murder. Ya guys, Fabio was sacrificed on the altar during an occult ritual. Oke. Walaupun sebelum itu ya dia ada KO. Ya, walaupun ya finishingnya sih. Oh, 2 kali pak. Jadi itu was a cover. Ritual was state it was covered to. Oh ini nih. Jadi ritual hanya sebuah kodek aja ya, kedok aja untuk menutupi kejadiannya guys ya. Jadi seperti itu. Oke. Punya satu lagi. Oke, tidak cocok. Right, kita harus mencari bukti lain lagi. Langsung aja guys ya. Kita lanjutkan progresnya. Let's go. Oke, kita coba ngomong sama dia lagi.
I'm starting to put the pieces together.
Fabio was stabbed.
I see nothing gets past you, Werner. Yes, he was stabbed, but only after being knocked out in the next room and placed here. I do not yet know why.
So, who's responsible?
Masih
Well,
dicari.
it was one person working alone, and
Ya,
the
dia
murderer has
melakukan
now
semuanya
gone
sendirian
the
guys ya,
road. He or
pelakunya ya.
she could be hiding in plain sight. We have lost time, Werner, but your discretion may prove to be a benediction after all.
Hah? Oke. Ini
The murderer had to have access to this room. After the crime, he used his own key to lock the door. So, who had the key to the altar room?
I'm not sure. As a special guest, I was provided one by Mr. Manchios. He should be able to tell you of any others.
siapa lagi yang punya kunci ya? Katanya
Most
special
likely
guest
in
yang
the
dapat
main
satu dari
hall,
Mr.
entertaining his
Manchios.
guests. He has a mask with golden stars.
Mas
You
golden
can't miss him.
stars.
But please be discreet.
Golden star, ada golden
We
star
don't want
bintang
to
emasnya
risk
guys ya.
disturbing the
Kita
revelry.
cari itu. Oke. Kita cari dia. Orang pakai topeng golden star. Golden star. Golden star. Golden star kah? Itu golden star atau pano? Titik-titiknya lo tolat. Nyalanya tuh ada nggak golden star? Tadi dulu ya. Ini ya performance gini guys ya, yang bajunya nggak pakai kostum kayak kita nih. Ini panas pak, udah hitam. Aduh, udah kayak hantunya ini nih, hantunya Korea nih. Yang apa sih namanya tuh? Gue lupa tuh, yang mukanya gini tuh, putih gitu kan.
Kurt Manchios, I presume. I'm Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, you must be
Oh,
the one
bintang.
Werner told me about. What a
Nggak
sweet
kelihatan
face
lo
you
pak,
have.
sorry
It
pak,
must
gue kira
belong to
pano.
a handsome young man. Can I call you Sherlock?
As you wish, Mr. Manchios. Mr. Vogel asked me to help you. The body in the altar room requires answers, and quickly. I suspect the murderer to still be.
Kita harus cepet guys, mendapatkan jawabannya dia.
Lower your
Karena ini
voice. I
pelakunya bisa
don't
kabur
want
dengan
anyone
mudah nih.
to hear us.
Ini aja langsung aja.
I need to find all
Siapa yang
those
punya
who
akses
had
ya?
the key to the altar
Selain
room.
si
As far
Vogel-Vogel.
as I know, Mr. Vogel, Fabio, and you had
Ketiga orang
access
ini
to
ya.
it. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes. Also, Matista and Santos.
Dua lagi ya,
Santos.
Matista Santos.
Who is that?
Santos Pinchetti, my major domo. In his
Major
opinion,
Domo.
at least.
Apa tuh Major Domo? Oke, gimana gue bisa
I'd like to
nemuin mereka?
speak to Mr. Pinchetti and Matista. Do you have somewhere I might have a private conversation with them?
Of course, of course. Let me think. Matista is entertaining the guests somewhere,
membantu nih.
and Santos, oh yes, he will be busy with the servants. Or the cook. What's that noise? What's going on? Please, filth. You're under arrest.
Polisi. Aduh, digerebek pak, gerebek, waduh, digerebek, diberondong, buset, getok. Ditendang dong. Galak polisinya ini pak. Wah, ada yang mojok tuh. Performance-nya di bawah tangga. Waduh, di bawah udah kayak apa gitu. Walah. Hush. Aduh, Pak, gue turun. Ya nggak usah di atas juga dong, di bawah aja udah cukup. Dia sosok di atas. Weh, ini gini doang di bosnya nih, ya kan? Aduh. Mau insan kasus malah ketangkep bos. Wih, jadi ini. Mungkin kita malah jadi yang ditahan.
Committed a crime, and now I have to free you, kiss your hand, and apologize for the inconvenience. Your Grace.
Mana Pak ya?
I did tell you that Mr.
Kita ada
Vogel
di
and I
tempat
were
yang
innocent.
salah.
I
Di waktu yang
emphasized
salah.
it in my
Iya.
statement.
Your statement? Thanks to some bigwigs who work for the so-called good of
Pelakunya
the
udah
country by
kabur, Pak.
releasing
Iya.
fleas like
Dia juga
you.
pakai topeng.
Thank God we have Vogel in this letter. Once I get to that goldfish, I'll...
Bigwig. Oh, my wretched brother Mycroft and his long nose.
Wait,
Bigwig.
did you say Mycroft? Mycroft Holmes? Are you the youngest son of Violet Holmes, rest her soul?
You know my
You knew my
mother?
Not personally, no. Not exactly.
Kolek guys, kita juga
I
perlu
was
ada
working
informasi
on
untuk
the
ibu kita
paperwork
guys
for
ya.
that case.
Would you happen to remember anything of the events?
Well, I didn't make the inquiry, but I remember seeing some notes. Why?
Perhaps we can negotiate.
Perhaps we can negotiate. I could be quite useful.
Got you hooked, right? You know what? Stark and the others think they're the smartest here, thanks to you. Let me get this straight. Are you listening to me, lad?
I'm all ears.
Take this case. Report to me only, to Constable Harvey Oswald.
Harvey Oswald.
I'll leave everything I have on this table. Find the murderer. Be a real copper. Question the suspects.
Pak, saya
make them
juga lagi
sing,
mencari
give me
pelakunya nih
something
Pak.
substantial.
Nanti tambah-tambah lagi
And
tugas
if
ini.
Mr. Vogel is not a suspect?
If he's innocent, then you can take your favourite degenerate away from here. If you slip or mess with the evidence, then trust me, your brother won't save you from my bludgeon. Meanwhile, I'll be checking the
Tenang
archive
aja.
for you.
Saya juga nggak
If
mau
anybody
dibantu sama
asks,
dia.
then you're a consulting detective.
Let's make a start then, partner.
I'm glad we managed to get the scoop before the raid.
Masuk sini gara-gara ada mau cari kasus malah tangkap polisi. From the report in the witness Saturday will claim the found body in the mansion and the grand in the result. Okay, multiple suspect arrested. Ditahan. Vogel Holmes masih mati. Masih ada guys dia guys. Oke.
Back on track to solve the case.
Kasih 5 karena negosiasi ya. Jadi kita kasih kunci Pak. Tapi disuruh cari pelakunya. Jadi sekian permission inspect all evidence. Dapat kunci kita guys ya untuk bisa meneliti semuanya tanpa diganggu oleh pak polisi lainnya ya. Santos Penici witness who report suspicion murder message mention. Santos. Ntar John. Aku tahu John di sini ada apa-apa lagi John. Ini bisa nggak nih? Bukan nih? Nggak bisa. Sick.
I found Werner.
Apa yang bisa ketemukan di sini? Nothing ya. Jelas sekali guys ya. Kita jalan-jalan ke penjara.
This area is restricted.
Ada lagi ya? Penjara zaman dulu Pak ya. Ini masih mau mabukan loh. Semua santai-santai aja tuh. Kita lihat dulu apa yang kita temukan barusan. Wah, ini ada cicali nih. Vogel is under arrest and he is one of the suspect. Oke. Ini seorang ini ya. The police during the red mention established a small freed me. He said he can find document related to my brothers that is same for help solving this case. Oke, kita bantu, kita akan mendapatkan dokumen soal ibu kita guys ya, kematian ibu kita ya. Oke, langsung aja kita coba investigasi guys ya. Jadi lenceng lagi ini ya dari tugas kita ya. Mau ini udah ada yang mati, kita sekarang ketangkep ini. Mau nggak mau guys ya, kita harus deal-dealan sama polisi ini ya. Kalau Oke, let's go. Kita coba cari guys ya clue-clue yang bisa ketemukan. Let's go. Oke, kita lihat guys.
This is not a ticket. Don't waste my time. Don't you understand what a ticket is?
Tiket. Hah,
I'd like to check the evidence from this case.
sorry Pak,
Who are you?
sorry.
Oswald
Ya.
sent me.
Ah,
I'm a
rupanya,
consultant
Gus.
detective.
His partner, then. Let me see. Ah, a ritual murder.
Aha.
What a bunch of degenerates. Wait a second. I'll bring it to the table.
Banyak Pak. Ini ya, barang-barang dari lokasi itu Pak. Apa nih?
It's a miracle this ruby hasn't tempted anyone.
Akik apa tuh? Batu maya? Atau apa?
All the keys of the mansion on one golden ring.
Oh.
A heavily perfumed handkerchief with the initials KM in the corner.
Oke, banyak kali. Waduh, surat. Fabio. I can be speak play with anyone I choose. Not another Matista. You pay me, but you haven't bought me.
Not the time
Yeah.
for privacy.
Kayaknya si Mister itu tuh kayak obsesi banget sama si ini guys. Oh, ini nih.
An emergency kit for boredom.
Sama si Fabio ya, si Mister Mancios ya.
Werner's personal sketchbook.
Oh, ini barangnya si Werner ya. Oke, apa lagi?
A handcrafted charm that contains hair and nail
Oh, ini punya
clippings.
Matista.
Her key to the altar room.
Oh, ini nih. Dia nih. Oh, the power of love.
That's not for bedtime reading.
Oh, what is that?
This ex libris belongs to Manchios Library.
Occult book in Matista bag.
The book describes a ritual similar to the one performed in the altar room. Thank you, officer.
Oke, sekarang kita menuju ke tempatnya sini. Si Vogel.
Did you hear Basilio Coppello is in jail?
Siapa
The
lagi
dead body
Basil
was-
Coppel? The body? Beta, Randall, Climb, Dead. Oke. Siapa tuh? Coppelio sama
Did you hear
Basilio
Basilio
Coppello?
Coppello is in jail?
siapa tuh Coppello? No. Tadi ini. Ah.
In the police. Let's pretend to be cops, eh? We can just stand around
Oh.
and look confused.
Itu set guys ya. Set mission ya. Oke.
This area is restricted.
Boleh lah Pak, masuk Pak. Saya kan juga cari orang. Oh, itu tuh Vogel tuh. Hello bro.
Werner, are you all right?
Oh, yes, yes.
Dia nggak dikasih
Everything's
pintu,
fine.
Pak.
In fact, it's something of a family reunion.
Pintunya nggak bisa
My
dibuka
brother
ini.
spent quite some time in this place himself.
You should not be here. I told the police everything I knew, but they refused to let you go. They require proof to
Ya
free you.
ditolak guys ya.
Ha! What do you
Harus
expect?
menyelesaikan
The
masalah ini
mighty
baru
Sherlock
Anda bisa
Holmes
dibebaskan
swans in,
gitu
tells
loh.
the officers what
Jadi
to
mohon
think,
bersabar
and
ya,
the world
Vogel.
Of course not. Anyway, I struck a deal with the constable, and I've got a free hand in the investigation. I find proof to solve the case for him. He obtains files about my mother's death for me.
Well done. If one has the power or will and can act, then one must. I wonder, suppose you couldn't get the proof to your truth. Would you tell a lie to the guard that enabled my freedom, knowing my innocence? Would that not be just?
Sorry. Bohong. Harus bohong. Tetap bermasalah Pak, kita kalau bohong Pak. Oke. Kita nggak
There are
berbohong.
lines I will not cross, Werner. I will do my best to secure your release, but with proof, not
Jangan bukti,
deception.
jangan bohong.
Really? How many white lies have you told on this island? Why not for me? Why not another?
That is absurd. I can resolve this without compromises. Do not give up hope.
Jangan menyerah lah Pak.
I'm not supposed to know anything about this.
So, the police found a letter from Fabio in your pocket.
I cannot tell if it was truly in my pocket at all. Perhaps it was placed there later.
Well, that is one
Bisa
hypothesis.
jadi. Ternyata
If it were
ditaruhkan
true, then how
setelahnya
did
ya.
it get there?
Ini bukan
No
dari
clue.
kantongnya ya.
But this night has been rather eccentric. Such a detail could have easily eluded me.
Indeed. Do you recall reading it?
I can't remember that either. But I tend to respect privacy. Reading others' personal notes is not one of my perversities.
Oke.
I can't follow you here. I'm not supposed to know anything about this. I can't follow you here. I'm not supposed to know anything about this. I don't think I can tell you anything about this.
I have learned who told the police about the crime. It was Santos Pinchetti,
Do I know him?
the major domo of the manor. He cleans up after you.
Well, then he does his job perfectly. All but invisible. I couldn't tell you the first thing about him.
Oke. Udah ya, sini dulu ya. Saya mau ke tempatnya si satunya. Si mbaknya mana tadi? Dia kayak gue tadi dan si mbaknya nih. Mana dia? Ah, ini dia nih. Hello, girls.
I'm Sherlock Holmes. I'm helping Constable Oswald. You are Matista, Fabio's friend.
This body, yes, it's Matista. But it's a mere shell that will die someday. Just like Fabio.
Oke.
Fabio knew the risks. Selling his body to degenerates who hid behind robes and masks, it could not end well.
That's only your distorted understanding of safety. Officers here, they wear robes and masks too. It's a dangerous lifestyle. But it's not as though we were given many other choices.
I'm just here to ask questions and find Fabio's murderer.
It will not bring Fabio back.
Ya iya sih. Jadi setidaknya pelakunya bisa diberikan ini ya, yang setimpal loh. Oh, inks herself. Oh, penyembah ini jangan-jangan nih. Nervous. Kayak dia gigitin tangannya guys ya. Waduh, dia garuk-garuk juga. Oh. Oke. Oke, oh berarti dia servant guys ya. Budak ya, sama kayak Fabio, mantan budak. Oke. Dissociated from her body. She's getting harmed by traumatic experience. Matista depragmatic for her body after years of abuse. She's a harm the guests who the world they won't see another friend stable. Wah, ini? She has unique my mysticism. She has tattooed her body with occult symbol. And sheltered together over her past and the life of more. Jadi dia punya masa lalu yang sangat-sangat kelam guys ya, sebagai seorang budak disiksa dan semacamnya guys ya. Sekarang dia menato sendiri kan ininya. Oke, gua akan pilih ini guys ya. Dia menghukum dirinya sendiri untuk masa lalunya ya. Nggak tahu kepercayaan guys ya. Ya udah okut-okut ini udah aneh mau.
Fabio and yourself were slaves, am I correct? You have a similar branding on your body.
Yes. It was a long time ago.
Masih ada perbudakan guys ya.
Couldn't help but also
Sampai di
notice
refuse
fresh
camp
cuts
juga
upon
masih ada
your
gitu guys
forearms.
ya. Jadi
The cuts
masih era-era
need
itulah.
to forget my past.
Rasisme masih keras guys ya.
Cover the old wounds and hide them.
How did you escape?
Something happened. One night the master fell down the stairs. I made him fall, and he died. We ran away that day. We managed to get on a ship and traveled here, to Cordona. Fabio and I started a new life here. It was very hard at first, but it became better with time. Until today.
Okay.
The bruises on your neck are not self-inflicted. Someone else made them.
Some guests can't contain themselves. They even bite, sometimes.
Ngeri juga tamunya guys. Gak bisa diri gigit. Wah, serigala atau apa mandi gigit.
I have nothing to say. I have nothing to add. I don't know what to say.
Ini
This book, The Power of Love,
buku yang
Blood
dia bawa
and
guys ya.
Mandrake, what do you hope to achieve?
To learn more about the invisible strengths that govern us. Occultism is real. The master who fell that night when Fabio and I escaped, I made him fall. I cast a spell on him and it worked.
Or was it a coincidence?
The universe is rarely so lazy.
If you say so.
Oke. Dia percaya guys ya dengan hal-hal itu karena dia menyangka bahwa karena dia menjampi-jampi si masternya dulu pas dia masih menjadi budak, dia jadi terjatuh di malam hari dan end ya. Kali ini.
This is the letter the police found in Mr. Vogel's pocket. Fabio wrote it. Do you know anything about it?
I don't. Although I can feel Fabio's energy. It's there, but it refuses to let me analyze it.
Okay.
Do you practice occult rituals?
For protection? For fortune? To wash away the ugliness of the world? Sometimes to survive. I have the gift, and I'm learning to use it better.
Did you use your gift on Fabio?
I only used white magic. Love charms lately. Fabio became so distant. I just wanted him to be with me, but I suppose I'm not as skilled as I thought.
Okay. Kita dapat lagi ya. Lalu kita menuju ke si cowok ya. Ada satu cowok guys. Mana tuh? Oh, nggak ada.
This area is restricted.
Iya. Saya kan juga cari-cari. Mana si Fabio? Fabio. Siapa? Santos. Ini bukan. Ini Matias. Ini tempat kita. Tuh Santos mana woi?
The air here is rather refreshing. I'd even recommend that some of my friends visit the place.
Is this familiar to you?
Nothing I can tell you, sir, but others might know more.
Oke, kita kesini guys.
I don't think I can tell you anything about this. You'd better ask me a question I know how to answer. I've nothing to say about this. I don't think I can tell you anything about this.
Have you considered Mr.
ini.
Santos Pinchetti?
Tanya orang ini guys.
The snitch? Have you seen him?
Kuncinya pak.
I mean,
Kuncinya
my
nggak
dad
ada.
could knock him down.
Kunci.
What's so special about him?
As a major domo, he has keys that open all the rooms, including the one to the crime scene. Could have testified only to circumvent suspicion, don't you think? We need to question him.
Right. I'll send our men to fetch him. Stay here. They brought him in, Mr. Holmes. Here's the key to interrogation room number 7.
Kena ketemu juga guys.
Mr. Pinchetti didn't even resist, our men said.
Thank you.
Mana tuh? Mana pak kuncinya pak? Udah.
You can question Mr. Pinchetti in the interrogation room.
Alright. Interrogation room. Oh. Oke. Ini dia nih. Akhirnya.
I recognize the key from the altar room among these.
Oke. Sama ya kayak si siapa? Small annotated Santos my whole soul baggage include my will. Kurt. Setting mau jadi mention Kurt Mansias. Harapan si Will. Oke, kita tanya Anda.
Mr. Pinchetti?
Mr.
A pleasure to meet you.
Pinchetti.
I'm Sherlock Holmes. I'm helping Constable Oswald.
I've already told him everything I know. I'm only a witness, sir. Everything's in my report.
And I've read it.
Oke.
You forgot to mention
Dia
that
saksi
you hold
mata
the
guys katanya
keys
guys
to
ya.
the room where Fabio was found. I need only to find if the crime was intentional.
But I need to return to my duties.
I doubt the house will fall without you, Mr. Pinchetti. Just be still for a few seconds.
Oke. Kita observe first ya. Ini orang ya. Oke. Oh. Oke, udah pernah dijahit berapa kali ya katanya. Bajunya. Alergi. Dia punya alergi kulitnya. Tekstil. Udah pernah diwarnain katanya. Oke, aduh sepatunya. Step in blood. Wow. Dia menginjek darah. Oke. Kita coba cari tahu. Terrible Misa. To save our money, they must do appear to have personally. Kali ini. Sometimes in the reform, ini employ the high position. Oke, his body is in position. Oke. Oke, ada make skinnya. Ditutupin sama make up ini ya. Di sini ada alergi. Multiple holes the pads of swan. Turn off should look. Oke, kayak gini guys ya. Dia punya kesulitan finansial ya karena bajunya udah pernah diwarna berkali-kali, dijahitin ya semacamnya gini.
You are the major domo
Dia
of a
kenapa
rich
nginjek darah?
mansion, and you seem barely able to afford decent clothing. You hide under heavy makeup a skin disease that might be treated with more onerous but less harmful means. Do you have money troubles?
Do not have a lot of means. The pay is below what you might expect.
But you could easily change your job if your employer does not meet your elementary needs.
One can change his employer, that is true.
And the blood on your shoe, where does that come from?
Nah,
I don't actually know. Perhaps from a guest.
Did you know Fabio?
Not personally. He was a frequent guest, and cleaning the mess after his performances was tedious. Mr. Manchios always had a role for him, and mainly the leading one. The parties were always Fabio-centric.
And Batista? Was she as popular as her partner?
Don't tell her I said this, but I do not think so. Mr. Manchios hired her only because Fabio refused to work without her. Mr. Manchios used to see her as a worker. She was tasked with entertaining the guests, unlike Fabio, who could pick and choose.
Oke, ternyata Fabio nggak mau kerja kalau nggak ada si Matista ya, jadi harus sepaket ya. Makanya si Mr. Manchios ya menggunakan itu gitu. Oke, kita tanya.
Don't expect me to know anything about it.
Mr. Manchios says that you begged him to be included in the heritage. Isn't that a little extreme, even for a major domo?
He's not only my employer, he's my uncle. And I'm his next of kin. The only one. Mr. Manchios flatly refuses to pay a family member. All I have to do is repay his so-called love, cleaning up the filth after perverts and decadents. He's imprisoned me. The best I can hope for is a new broom. That's why I wanted to have my part of the inheritance.
Is it that bad? You have a roof above your head, a salary, and the status of a major domo.
For God's
Major
sake,
Domo.
I'm forced to dye
Kerjaan
and
apa
stitch
Major
my
Domo?
threadbare clothes, and the holes in my shoes are painful. I'm ashamed every time a guest looks at me closely.
Why do you think your uncle treats you this way?
My mother, my uncle's sister, had me illegitimately. She died, and I was given the surname of one of the maids.
But you are entitled to some of the money that belongs to your family.
He thinks not. I was not responsible for my mother's death. I work hard, and he pays me nothing. I feed on the leftovers. While he wastes our estate's property on decadent parties, he paid Fabio handsomely and showered him with expensive gifts.
Dia nggak suka sama
A disgusting
si
relationship.
Masias ya. Macianos. Apa sih? Orangnya siapa sih namanya? Si Kirk Macianos. Oh, Macios. Ya nih, dia nggak suka ini, katanya ini pamannya ya. Oke. Alright. Terdapat lagi. Saya udah punya kabar baru nih.
I know you can untangle this mess.
Gak mau tahu kah? Kalau gue punya kabar baru.
Are you done yet? Can I leave?
Gak mau. Lu di situ aja, gak usah kemana-mana. Enak aja, buset banyak kali. Oke. Santos PG filed to notice the blood stain inside the shoe, cleaning up and started the murder. Itu yang aneh tuh. Dia kok gak sadar kalau ada darah di kek sepatunya, dulu. During that fight, the smoking lounge, Fabio Bruce Matista. Okay. Fight. Oh. GTA for this film, GTA for the world to from commercial is very home to instead. Oke, gak dibayar pak, dia pak kerja pak. Ya, jadi bos tuh harus bayar anak buah ya. Kalian mengerjakan seseorang tapi nggak mau ini sih gawat kalian ini. Santos. Oke. Wah, bosnya ini nih. GTA accidentally step in blood. Apa sih jadi ya? Dia tuh nginjek ya. Tapi dia nggak tahu sih lebih tepatnya ya. Oke, apa lagi? Letter my having from Machios. According to jadi by the content, this might be addressed to. Oke. Ada surat yang ditujukan untuk si Machios ya. Power love. This time I have from one ritual Fabio to bring his love back. Gawat nih. Mana lagi? My sister was bruised by the gas. My sister saw red was on her body from brutal surrounding the gas. Oh ini bener. Ada beberapa tamu yang galak guys ya. Oke. Tidak ada lagi. Nih. Oke, kita coba cari lagi guys ya. Mungkin ada clue lain yang tersembunyi kayaknya. Let's go. Oh, ternyata bisa 2 kali guys. Ngomong-ngomong orang-orang ini ya.
There is undeniable evidence that you were the original recipient of this letter.
What are you talking about?
Bisa 2 kali ya kita ngomong ke
Your protege wanted a
ini.
fresh start, it seems. This is sufficient to charge you.
Me? Hurt my star? Are you insane that you would accuse me of
Lu
such
gak
a
bayar
thing?
ponakan
He did
lu.
not consider himself
Apa
as
tuh?
yours.
Ngerjain apa memperkerjakan orang tuh dibayar. Kamu bayar.
Do you have any idea as to how the letter could have ended up in Mr. Vogel's pocket?
You were the detective. Perhaps he took it from Fabio. Werner was a little high.
Okay.
You'd better ask someone else. You'd better ask someone else.
I've
Yeah.
read the letter about your will. A harsh method of ridiculing Santos. I doubt he will use mustache wax when he wears no mustache to begin with.
Where did you get it? Is the slug here? Tell him.
Kita harus
I shouldn't
temukan
have to
guys siapa
provide
pembunuhnya
for
nih.
him.
Jadi kan dia
He's a
nih, dia
grown
juga
man
punya
who shouldn't
obsesi
sit on
soalnya
his
orang ini
uncle's
ya.
neck. He conceives himself as my only heir.
And who is he to you?
Yang satu agak masuk akal si Matista ya, pakai jampi-jampi.
He has only added problems to my life since the death of his mother.
I fail to see why you made
Ini
him your
juga ada
major
yang aneh
domo.
dengan orang ini yang
He needed
nggak
to know his
adil ya.
place, so I taught him. You'd better ask someone else. That's not something I know much about.
Do you recognize this
Yeah.
book? Could Matista have borrowed it from your library?
She didn't ask me. How ungrateful.
The things described in the book were inspiration for the rituals you performed?
Do you really believe that blood, symbols, and incantations can resurrect the dead? They are just eerie tales with a mix of occultism and voodoo. My rituals are a stage to show some of the forbidden pleasures.
Oke. Kita coba tanya si Matista. Oh, ini nggak ada lagi nih.
Could Fabio have written this letter to Kurt Manchos?
Oh. That could be. I never thought Mr. Manchios could make Fabio that angry, though.
What do you mean?
Well, Fabio wanted to disassociate from Mr. Manchios. Clients who are in love are both a blessing and a curse.
But Fabio was here tonight.
Money. In our line of work, we can't afford to turn down clients who pay as well as Kurt Manchios.
Was Fabio afraid of Mr. Manchos?
Not at all. The old toad wouldn't dare to do more than sweet talk and touching. Talk can be forgotten, and touching washed away. I know I can handle the news.
Oke.
Please let me out.
Lo, coba lo. Oh, ada lagi nih.
I have reason to believe that the intended recipient of the incriminating letter may have been Kurt
Integrasi
Manchos.
terus,
That
guys
makes
ya.
sense. Too bad I can't remember how I came to possess it. Though I did spend quite some time with Mr. Manchios during the party.
Unfortunately, even with an answer, that may still not be enough to clear you with the police. But fear not, I will persevere.
I hope your attempt to put
Enggak,
things
ya apa
straight
kan lama-lama
will
kan
make
kan
up
ada teman tuh
for
belakang tuh dua tuh.
You being on a bender?
touche. I know you can untangle this mess.
Oke.
Please let me out.
Ini udah gak bisa diajak ngomong. Masih bisa kah?
I know I can handle the
Oke,
news.
gak bisa. Ya.
I can't wrap my head around such a tragedy at my...
Berarti udah tidak ada lagi. Oke. Message the letter under influence. Okay, klik. Slip the letter into the fogger locker to make him look. Oh, masuk akal. Masuk akal. Fabio Sarker matches feeling. Oke. Coba ini hitam juga nih. Oh. Sexual predator? Crime of passion? What? Ngeri juga sih. Sexual predator, guys. Oke. Kayaknya dia orang, guys ya. I guess Clearwater in a cold world. He said the crime was ritual to blame Batista. He planned a letter for the pocket of French suspicion. Messias execution for the life order deserve to be hanged. Bahkan beli ini guys ya. Iya, sexual predator. Crazy nih orang nih. Ini bisa jadi yang dua lagi guys ya. Kita akan putih, mungkin ada petunjuk lain lagi yang akan muncul gitu. Oke sudah guys ya, tapi gue beli ini. Lu ya. Hati dong. Oke, kita menuju ke si bapak. Ya pak.
I've nothing to say about this.
This letter proves nothing. Fabio wrote it to Mr. Manchios. It's time to free Mr. Vogel.
Do you really think I'm that naive? I need proof, not words from his friend.
Very well. Mr. Pinchetti told me that Mr. Manchios was lavishing Fabio with expensive and eccentric gifts. The letter mentions rich rewards and attempts to buy Fabio with them. It was written to Mr. Manchios. Who else was showering Fabio with luxuries to buy him? It doesn't fit Mr. Vogel's character.
Look here. We had a deal. Give me the murderer and then take your friend with you. I won't budge otherwise.
Well, fine, but you're just wasting time.
Iya nggak mau di ini gitu loh. Ya udahlah ya. Langsung aja lah ya kita ke suspeknya guys ya. Halo kan? Excuse.
The murder of Fabio did not have a ritual purpose, Mr. Manchios. It was staged by a man who wished to distract the investigation.
That might be true. That poor girl Matista wouldn't dare to kill the only man who cared for her. So, Santos.
Mr. Pinchetti snatched at the chance to solve his problems.
Ungrateful little scum. Will he be executed?
Anda pelakunya,
But what
woi.
for? He informed the police as to the crime, that was all. He couldn't stage the ritual, but he found the body, I believe.
I can't believe it. Why did Werner do it?
Mr. Vogel. He had no reason, and he won't be a scapegoat
Soalnya
as you
kenapa gue
planned.
menuduh si dia guys? Karena
You put Fabio's letter in his
saat
pocket
si
when he was
Verne atau Vogel
intoxicated.
kita tanyain guys,
You
siapa yang
can't
tahu
be
soal
serious.
kejadian ini? Dia bilang ada si Masios ini dan dia kayak bingung ketakutan gitu dan lari gitu guys. Dan saat kita temukan dia toleh itu guys ya. Mungkin itu juga petunjuk guys kalau dia ini pelakunya nih. your
We can very often
kayaknya dia
deduce someone's life by their
bersih ini
shoes
terus tapi
or their
bekas di
fingernails.
tangannya darahnya guys
You
ya,
are
dia
a
cuci
meticulous
gitu loh,
person, but this murder was
jadi
very
dia yang
traumatic and filthy.
melakukan.
After you stabbed Fabio, you were covered in blood. You panicked and neglected to rinse the soap
Tuh,
from under
karena
your fingernails.
panik gitu loh
The devil
ya,
is in the details.
yang jadi
Mr.
gua
Mitchell.
lebih berat ke dia
Nonsense.
guys.
I missed it simply because of the busy schedule of the party.
Of course, a staged murder was certainly not planned. You're at the twilight of your life. You have no partner, you have no children. You had feelings, however, for one man. That was Fabio. You loved him. That is, you wished to own him with money and gifts. But he was also a free mind, was he not? He turned his back on you. Quite unjust. Love, so cruel and painful. And
Wah,
Fabio,
karena ada
with his words
cewek,
and
kenapa
deeds,
pilih
made you
cowok?
feel the more wretched. So you killed him.
You must surely perceive that my sensitive nature wouldn't allow me to hurt anyone.
Kalau itu ini
You staged the murder as a satanic ritual. It was easy for you since you were the one who wrote the scenarios for the parties.
karena
It was
dia punya
your way
buku guys,
of
itu loh
avoiding
ya, bukan
suspicion.
dibawa masih
A
Matista ya,
respectable man in his 60s,
soal darah yang
early
bisa membagikan
60s,
orang yang
who
disayangi
hosts
ya.
the cream of Cordona society,
Dengan
not
ritual
possibly
aneh,
be a murderer.
kocak.
But the guests who behave like animals in his mansion, of course, one of them could have killed Fabio.
I did oversee a few of the rituals, but I did not stage Fabio's death.
Fabio played with your feelings. That was painful to realize. You spent so much time and effort to be with Fabio, but he didn't respond in the
No.
way that you would have liked. You wanted to be loved, but Fabio shattered your dreams. In the smoking lounge, he teased and mocked you. He wanted you to suffer by offering himself to others. The deception
Jadi
was
dia mungkin
unbearable. You were
mengutarakan itu
passionate,
guys ya,
and
kalau dia
so
tuh
you struck him.
ingin si Fabio
Once
itu
you
dengan
understood your
dia
mistake, it was
mungkin
too
ya.
late. You were afraid, so you staged
Jadi
the
dia nggak
ritual. With such a
ini, tapi
story,
Fabio-nya
you
menolak
might be
ya.
sentenced to a few years.
Karena
It might
cowok-cowok.
clean your conscience, and soon
Iya,
the case
ini
will be forgotten.
No.
predator soalnya nih. Jadi Fabio menolak,
This
dia
is
akhirnya
my decision.
ngamuk ini ya.
I'll talk to Constable Oswald. to
Dibogem
see
lah
what I
ya,
can do.
dipukul pakai botol, dibogem. Oke, ada apa ya?
I wish everything were different.
No, that is not different again. Ya, Anda sudah lah ya. Oke, dapat. Tidak dapat. Ini pelakunya, kasih tahu. No,
There's no fool like an old fool. Kurt Manchios did it. A young boy played with the heart of an old man. The latter couldn't handle it. The evidence I obtained clearly shows that the quarrel was not intended to end badly. It was an accident.
Showing pity towards your own kind, Holmes. Whatever.
All I'm saying is that prison won't take much away from an old and crushed man.
Fine. A big name like that will still give me a promotion. As for my part, not everything was in place. Perhaps some documents were transferred somewhere else, but I couldn't
Tadi
find
kasih
a trace
dokumen,
of
guys.
them. Then I remembered. The discarded document drawers where we put the lost papers or the badly labelled ones, including the crime scene report of Violet Holmes's case. Everything I've found is on the desk here. Take it.
Your persistence has saved me.
Yeah, well, we had a deal after all. Your friend is free then.
Tinggal keluar
isn't he?
guys ya. Everything's
luck,
free.
Constable.
Keluar semuanya. Aman. Akhirnya selesai juga. Mana dia? Udah keluar belum? Udah hilang. Cepet kali dia. Oke. Dah, aman dah. Dia masih ngendok di situ. Ayo pulang. Pulang gue.
I'd weep if I had any tears left at home.
Dah. Akhirnya selesai juga dan kita bisa fokus lagi ke sini. Also from copy of the missing report of mother dead she left in the table. Archive. Oh ini. Officer arrived in the Mr. lying in the garden. Usually saw the victim to be the thoracic sac with a deep vertical incision 2 inch in length. Sobekan guys, vertikal gitu guys ya, di ininya tangan nih, berarti leg tuh kaki. Don't hurt. 2 inci di sini guys, dikorek dong. Her face is swollen and covered in red blood. Likely caused the death, high position and information. Dibunuh guys. When suspect authority was arrested on the scene, the body was wow. Ibunya karena ternyata bukan karena sakit guys ya, gak hanya gila juga, tapi dibunuh ternyata ya. Dan ada sayatan di lehernya 2 inci guys panjangnya. Wah gila, dibunuh ternyata guys ibunya guys. Wah, kira sakit atau apa gitu ya, dibunuh guys. Dan yang dijadikan tersangka adalah si dokter Otonya ya.
Garden. There's a garden behind our manor. How could I forget? That's where it all happened, where it all...
Oh, you did it, Sherlock! The case is closed and all rewards belong to the winner. Bravo!
It is merely the triumph of the truth.
Is it?
Wow.
No compromises? No
Progres
lies?
yang sangat tidak
You're
terduga guys
happy
ya.
with your decisions?
Gue gak menduga itu sih. This what it is.
Whatever the truth, it had to be revealed. The victim deserved it.
Well, you seem confident in the value of your actions. I guess since I'm free, you were heard after all. By the way, did you get that precious information about your mother? Oh, not that you must.
Yes, I did.
Forgive my intrusion in such a personal matter. I simply worry I'm failing to be of much help to you.
Actually, you were. For some reason, all the archives on the case had disappeared. This was a rare opportunity to obtain the impossible.
Outrageous. Perhaps someone found the truth unpleasant. Society usually rejects those who speak with too much honesty, doesn't it?
A comfortable lie is often preferred to an uncomfortable truth.
Masa dokter?
Still, I believe that the latter should prevail, and I cannot remain silent.
Menarik
That's
sekali guys.
criticism at its best. Your mere truth cannot defeat institutions, systems, and power. Etiquette, religion, marriage, they're all lies told to preserve connections to love and sanity, and it's all corruptible.
Lies destroy human dignity. How could you make a free decision without any knowledge of the truth?
Are we really free to decide anything in this world, Sherlock?
I'm free.
Oh yes. It's a struggle, but yes, we can make our own decisions. That's what I fight for.
What an endless fight it is. Will you ever give yourself a break, Sherlock? You're a walking contradiction, Sherlock. You refuse to lie to others, but constantly lie to yourself. How long until the train comes off the track? I cannot look away.
Ini sedang mencoba untuk jujur pada diri sendiri gitu loh, dengan mengungkap kejadian soal ibu kita gitu guys, kematian ibu kita.
I shall bid you adieu.
Oke. Ini dia. Another fragment in my past. Surface. Oke. Cozy gazebo. Kita bisa kembali ke manor lagi guys ya. Let's go. Oke, kita udah sampai guys. Ganti baju dulu lah. Panas, gerah. Oke, ini aja. Oke. Biarin aja tuh orang di situ tuh. Oke, kita masuk guys. Pintu belakang. Ini dia. John, minggir John.
Sherry, please listen to me.
Enggak.
Sherry.
Gak mau.
John, I always listen to you.
You don't have to do this. You don't have to go through. I don't know what is beyond this door, but I can
mungkin
feel
Sherlock
it.
Melihat kejadiannya guys, tapi sangat-sangat
like a fly at the window.
bikin dia tuh trauma besar ya, sampai dia melupakan hal itu kejadian dimana menimpa ibunya guys. Kemungkinan kayak gitu ya. Bisa gitu ada trauma terjadi loh.
And truth.
You do not need to suffer
ada yang
either.
membunuh ibu dia melihat ya. Dia nggak bisa menerima itu dan ketakutan.
There is no coming back from this.
Meninggal dan akhirnya melupakan itu. I have to finish this.
John, my animum, my brother, there is nothing more important in this moment than this truth. I know you fear for me, but my path was set long ago. I can no more step off it than I can ask the avalanche to roll back uphill.
Just Please be careful, Sherry. I love you.
Quite. Come on. We'll go together.
Oke, tapi kita akan lanjutkan di episode selanjutnya guys, untuk mengungkap apa sih yang terjadi dengan ibu dari Sherlock Holmes ini guys ya. Seperti apa sih pembunuhannya gitu loh. Yang kita dapat informasinya guys ya dari si Pak Polisi ya. Dan kenapa sih John kayak menyuruh Sherlock itu berhati-hati. Jadi emang di sini adalah titik dimana kejadian mengerikan itu terjadi guys. Sherlock Holmes itu melihat semua itu ya. Oke. Sinilah kejadiannya. Oke, seperti guys ya. Episode kali ini semoga kalian suka dan terhibur, dan sampai jumpa lagi di next video dari game Sherlock Holmes chapter 1 ini. Intinya kita udah selesaikan masalah tumbal menumbal itu ya, yang ternyata adalah ada orang yang sangat mengerikan ya, predator ya. Si Macios itu sendiri guys. Oke, jadi saran untuk kalian semua, berhati-hatilah ya dalam melakukan sesuatu, dan juga berhati-hatilah dalam memilih partner ya, atau gak memilih pekerjaan ya. Semuanya kita harus berhati-hati guys ya. Terima kasih, gue Fari dan sampai lagi di next video. Bye.